Yeah, a lot of good things happened in this game. Obviously both teams started off a little slow. I thought we got great momentum coming out of halftime. Finally found our groove on the offensive end, but they're just a hard team to keep off the boards and to hold them to one shot. I think if we just had any ability to do that, we might be thinking of a different game, but that's just so big a part of their game, and a lot of threes came off of those in and outs after missed baskets, and again, credit to them. Very tough team, but proud of our team and how we competed.
We don't often see you shorten the bench as much as you did. I think there's 6 players played in the second half, and obviously it seemed to work because there was long periods of efficiency. What was just kind of the thought going into that to kind of stick with those 6?
Well, it just, defensively, I thought we really got into a great rhythm at the start of the second half. And even at the start of the middle of the second quarter, I thought that was our best defensive team on the court. We held them pretty good in the second quarter. And just feel like these games are going to be tight at the very end. And honestly, some of the mistakes that we did have tended to be freshmen making some mistakes on how to guard. It's just, it takes a long time to figure out how to guard these guys and do it properly. Got to keep playing young players. I've got to keep doing that. But tonight I just felt like we had too good a rhythm to take those guys off the court.
Tara, what were you kind of working through there? You obviously had a big wrap around your quad, and how much did that kind of hinder you, and how were you able to kind of grit out today's performance?
Yeah, it was just a lingering injury from practice earlier this week, but I was just mostly fighting cramps in my legs, and calves, and then hamstring, and then quad. So got some electrolytes, and it fixed that. So yeah, that was the problem.
Coach, I know you talked about slowing down Egypt being a big piece of game. In the first half, she shot 1 for 10, and then ended up getting a lot more in the second half. I mean, what out of the game did you see the team was able to do to get that first half efficiency down?
Well, I just think we guarded really well. I thought we had a good idea of what we wanted to give up and where we could help some in on. They can put people on the court that you can't really help on, so they're a hard team to guard, and Egypt's kind of impossible to guard.
Kamie, you wanted to see some fight. We'll let you catch your
Is that legal?
Sorry.
Can I drink this? I can leave it up there empty. Thank you.
Talk about the difference from the first game that you played and the physical nature and how your ladies responded.
Yeah, I think we're getting tougher. Sorry, guys. We continue to lose games, though, on the boards, and that's the only disappointing thing on this. So that's the hard part, is we just can't keep these guys off the boards. We lose 21-2 on second chance points. They get a lot more shot attempts. There's a lot of good in that, of how good we're playing, but gosh, that just kills us ultimately in beating a good team.
What led to that kind of offensive explosion we saw towards the end of the third quarter and start of the fourth? You guys, it had been a struggle for you guys in the game, but then all of a sudden, like a switch flipped, and you guys were all of a sudden you couldn't miss like really good off-ball movement, stuff like that. Just like, is that something you would take away from this game and say, hey, this is how dangerous our offense can be?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's a lesson for the future, and I just think we're not we're not used to physicality, and this is a really physical team, so it's just important to come into the game and play like that since the beginning, because it's kind of late to start in the third quarter or fourth quarter or whatever. But yeah, as we saw, like, our shots wouldn't fall in the first quarter, but that also comes from, like, we're slow entering the offense. We wouldn't push the ball, we wouldn't run in transition, so I feel like on the third and fourth quarter, once we would get the defensive rebound, we would run, and that helped us a lot.
Tara, Allie Turner continues to keep getting open from three. She's kind of a big threat. I'm sure you saw that in the scout. I heard a lot on the bench, about going on threes and stopping her. She ended up with 15 points. What do you think needs to happen next time to kind of a threat like that?
Yeah, she was a big emphasis in our scout this week, and we really didn't want her to get any touches, any threes. So I think with the game going on like that, it's kind of hard with it being so physical, so we kind of had to adjust. But yeah, it was just another emphasis on the scout and really focusing on who were the key players, and she definitely had a great game and definitely showed out for what we didn't want to
And how are
happen.
you feeling now with the, coming back from the injury? You still finished with 18 points. That's a pretty strong performance, I'd say, despite, your injury.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Just gonna hydrate on the bus ride back, but yeah, just looking forward to recover and then getting back to it on Monday.
Kamie, until you guys get Alex back, what needs to change rebounding wise, and whether that's more minutes for Candace, or what can you guys do to try and stem that tide until you get her back?
Yeah, we'll get Candace back in it again. Just didn't think she was giving us, the on either end of the court what we needed. So every player on our team's going to get a chance to get on the court based on how they practice and how they rebound and how they compete on the boards. We've got to make an emphasis of that. Alex will get back eventually. I don't think we've been a great rebounding team with Alex either, so I don't know that you can. I think it's just our nature, and they're one of the best in in the country, and so we got to put bodies on people. We got to pursue it, and we've got to get some offensive rebounding. We're just not pursuing the ball near enough on the offensive end, so it'll just be an emphasis as we go, finish up this season.
And do you feel like this rivalry put a label on it is intensifying?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, it's always been great. I think they've obviously succeeded a lot more than we have in the NCAA tournament, and as far as what they've done and accomplished, tradition-rich, winning culture and program. They're as good as anybody. Nobody wants to play them in the tournament, so love competing against them. I think Lisa does an amazing job, and I think there's so many good things about playing when we're this close to one another, and now that we're in the same conference, maybe obviously we'll be doing it a lot more of.
In a game that's decided by 4 points, how much of a difference does the home court advantage they have make with 6,000 here?
Well, it's just a great environment, but I thought our kids really stepped up and handled everything that the crowd was doing. I thought that back and forth period that y'all were talking about in the third quarter, in the fourth, it just was back to back to back to back where people were making plays and answering the other team, and that's what you want to see a young team do, and I thought our team really responded great in those situations. Crowd hurt us a little bit. A couple of bad calls by me and not calling a couple of timeouts, I think, hurt us. But, we put ourselves in position to win this game, and we just didn't quite do enough. We didn't do enough at the free throw line. We didn't do enough, rebounding. We didn't do enough on the end-of-game situations either.
With you guys moving along, did y'all feel the same about the crowd, or how did that affect you guys? And also, they took on you guys, and how did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially on free throws. I think we missed a couple of free throws at the end. I feel like if we were at home and the crowd was on our side, those would have gone down. But it's a lesson for the future. I mean, we have to get used to crowds like this, because once you go and play a tournament game or whatever, you're going to have these crowds. So just got to focus a lot on the scout, because you can't really hear on defense or offense. So just got to read the game, learn how to read the game. And
You're talking about the third and fourth quarter, a back and forth fight. Even when Tara was out, it seemed like Dee and Shasha both hit a couple big shots. How was that just keeping the momentum going and staying with it?
Yeah, I just love that from young players. Again, they're getting better. Shasha will make big shots anytime she gets them. I love that. She just made some mistakes defensively. That's what got her off the court a little bit. And again, Candace is going to get right back in it. We just need better responses from her. So we're deeper than I played tonight. We just have to play deeper. But I sure like the freshmen that we have and how they're playing.